Om Shri Arivindo Mother, open my mind, my heart to your light and love so that I can see the divine in everything. Earth's grain that needs the sap of pleasure and tears rejected the undying rapture's boon offered to the daughter of infinity. Her passion, flower of love and doom she gave. In vain now seemed the splendid sacrifice, a prodigal of her rich divinity, herself and all she was she had lent to men, hoping her great being to implant, and in their bodies lives acclimatize, that heaven might native grow on mortal soil. That hard is it to persuade the earth's nature of change. Mortality bears ill the eternal's touch. It fears the pure divine intolerance of that assault of ether and of fire. It murmurs at its sorrowless happiness. Almost with hate repels the light it brings. It trembles at its naked power of truth and the might and sweetness of its absolute voice. Inflicting on the heights the abysm's law, it sullies with its mire heaven's messengers. Its thorns of fallen nature are the defense it turns against the Saviour's hands of grace. It meets the sons of God with death and pain. A glory of lightnings traversing the earth scene, their sun thoughts fading, darkened by ignorant minds, their work betrayed, their good to evil turned, the cross their payment for the crown they gave, only they leave behind a splendid name. A fire has come and touched men's hearts and gone. A few have caught flame and risen to greater life. Too unlike the world she came to help and save, her greatness weighed upon its ignorant breast, and from its dim chasms welled a dire return, a portion of its sorrow, struggle, fall. To live with grief, to confront death on her road, the mortal's lot became the immortal's share. Thus, trapped in the gin of earthly destinies, awaiting her ordeal's hour abode, outcast from her inborn felicity, accepting life's obscure terrestrial robe, hiding herself even from those she loved. The Godhead greater by a human fate, a dark foreknowledge separated her from all of whom she was the star and stay, too great to impart the peril and the pain. In her torn depths she kept the grief to come, as one watching over men left blind takes up the load of an unwitting race, harboring a foe whom with her heart she must feed. Unknown her act, unknown the doom she faced. Unhelped she must foresee and dread and dare. The long foreknown and fatal morn was here, bringing a noon that seemed like every noon. For nature walks upon her mighty way, unheeding when she breaks a soul of life. Leaving her slain behind she travels on, man only marks and God's all-seeing eyes. Even in this moment of a soul's despair, in its grim rendezvous with death and fear, no cry broke from her lips, no call for aid. She told the secret of her woe to none. Calm was her face and courage kept her mute. Yet only her outward self suffered and strove. Even her humanity was half divine. Her spirit opened to the spirit in all. Her nature felt all nature as its own. Apart, living within all lives she bore, aloof, she carried in herself the world. Her dread was one with the great cosmic dread. Her strength was founded on cosmic mights. The universal mother's love was hers. Against the evil at life's afflicted roots, her own calamity its private sign. Of her pangs she made a mystic poignant sword. A solitary mind, a worldwide heart to the lone immortals' unshared work she rose. At first life grieved not in her burdened breast, on the lap of earth's original somnolence, inert, released into forgetfulness. Prone it reposed, unconscious on mind's verge, obtuse and tranquil like the stone and star. In a deep cleft of silence twixt two realms, she lay remote from grief, unsown by care, nothing recalling of this sorrow here. Then a slow, faint remembrance, shadow-like moved, and sighing she laid her hand upon her bosom, and recognized the close and lingering ache. Deep, quiet, old, made natural to its place, but knew not why it was there, nor whence it came. The power that kindles mind was still withdrawn. Heavy, unwilling were life's servitors, like workers with no wages of delight. Sullen, the torch of sense refused to burn. The unassisted brain found not its past. Only a vague earth nature held the frame. Now she stirred, her life shared the cosmic load. At the summons of her body's voiceless call, her strong, far-winging spirit travelled back to the yoke of ignorance and fate, back to the labor and stress of mortal days, lighting a pathway through strange symbol dreams, across the ebbing of the seas of sleep. Her house of nature felt an unseen sway. Illumined swiftly were life's darkened rooms, and memory's casements opened on the hours, and the tired feet of thought approached her doors.